excited today to proclaim March 5th the Complete Streets Day in the city of Los Angeles. And it's thanks to the work of people behind me and all my colleagues on the City Council that the city is undertaking an evolution into supporting more pedestrian activity on our streets, alternative forms of transportation, and a more healthier Los Angeles, thanks to the work of the many advocates behind me, which we will introduce soon. But let's give them all a big round of applause right now. Thank you so much. Since taking office in 2005, we initially undertook an initiative to look at every major commercial corridor in our district and to help promote more pedestrian activity, alternative forms of transportation, and to support our local businesses. These efforts on improving First Street in Boyle Heights, Huntington Drive in El Sereno, York Boulevard in Highland Park, Colorado Boulevard in Egra, and Broadway in downtown LA have been underway for years now. Our blood, sweat, and tears by many of the people who are behind me here have been paying off. Thanks to many of the people gathered here today and others, all these neighborhoods and streets are getting local and even national attention for the work we've done, and there's more to come. Community is really important to the Complete Streets vision, and without community, we couldn't have done all that we have done. Working with DLAC, Historic Bid, and others, we brought the first parklets to downtown LA and Spring Street. And in 2010, we created community vision plans workshops working with Steve Cancien and Living Streets to improve Huntington Drive, York Boulevard, and these efforts have produced the first parklets in Northeast Los Angeles as well. We also brought the city's first bike corral to York Boulevard, and soon, very soon, with the help of the Los Angeles Neighborhood Initiative, we will add a new pocket park and Avenue 50, something that the community has been asking for many, many years. We also work with the Department of Transportation to bring the city's first green bike lanes to First Street in Boyle Heights and to Spring Street in downtown LA. And we've been working since 2008 to make First Street an arts corridor, which has had a lot of great results. On Colorado Boulevard, as the community has been known to do, they started an initiative called Take Back the Boulevard, working with TERRA, the Eagle Rock Neighborhood Council, and the Department of Transportation. We removed 2 traffic lanes on Colorado Boulevard, added a new bike lanes and crosswalks, and we also added some pedestrian lights. We think it's no accident that Redfin Realty website named Eagle Rock America's second hottest neighborhood. Is that right, Eagle Rockers? Eagle Rockers are here. Okay. And of course, our efforts to bring back the streetcar to downtown LA and to revitalize Broadway through our Bringing Back Broadway initiative are beginning to show huge impacts on new businesses and job creation here on Broadway. We are initiating the Streetscape Master Plan, and there, again, we will have the city's largest road diet as we take one of downtown's busiest streets to encourage more pedestrian activity and to say that pedestrians are just as important as the cars whizzing by. And of course, cannot talk about complete streets in the city of LA without mentioning Ciclavia. Just 4 years ago, the city launched this project with the support of former Mayor Antonio Miragosa, and we were a bit hesitant at first, as you can tell. Nobody knew how many people would show, but very soon we got our answer. Hundreds of thousands of people showed up and continue to show up in our Ciclavia events. The event keeps getting bigger and bigger. Ciclavia, in my opinion, has done more to shape bike and pedestrian policy in the city of Los Angeles than any legislation we've proposed. And that is because when you see hundreds of thousands of people out there bicycling, rollerblading, walking, it's easy to imagine why doing more of that is good for the city of Los Angeles.
I'm Deborah Murphy. I'm the executive director and founder of Los Angeles Walks, a pedestrian advocacy organization that I founded 16 years ago. I'm also been chair for the same number of years of the city's pedestrian advisory committee. I'm here today to support Councilmember Huizar in his declaration of Complete Streets Day in Los Angeles, so that we can celebrate the vital accomplishments that we have made in the past few years to create safe streets. Safe, accessible, fun, and equitable, that are for everyone. Councilmember Huizar has exhibited courageous leadership to implement strategies to transform the streets in his district, to slow down drivers, to make it safer to walk and bike to school, shopping, and work, to have a safe place to park your bike, to encourage people to linger in their neighborhood shopping districts, to promote transit ridership, to recognize the streets are our largest open space network.
I wanted to also thank a lot of the council members present here today for their work on complete streets issues and in making the city safer for all transportation users. You know, when we started Streets Blog in Los Angeles just over 6 years ago, we were talking about issues like how are we going to put down a couple of sharrows, which are just lane markings which confirm to drivers and riders where bicycles should be positioned on the street. And while we're certainly a long way away from being a safe streets mecca, when we look at continental crosswalks making intersections safer, when we look at buffered bike lanes on Main and Spring Street, when we look at green bike lanes on First Street and Boyle Heights, and even the somewhat controversial one on Spring Street, we see a large shift in the emphasis. So we still have a way to go, but today is about celebrating how far we've come. And I want to thank a lot of the people in this room for making this happen.